everybody, it is the Law Gnome, and welcome back to another Funko Pop Update. It is now officially our June 2025 Funko Pop Update. We have officially reached the middle of 2025, and also this is a pretty interesting landmark episode. This is the 130th episode of Funko Pop Update. Even though this is going to be the last season of Funko Pop Update, I'm really curious to see as to which number we will fall on towards the end of the year. I'll do the math after this video. But anyway, I'm really glad to be here to discuss some Funko. I know that there was recently some reveals in regards to the Anime Expo, but I will also say that what was very interesting was the fact that we got a very interesting bunch of new releases that are on the way, some that I am personally very excited about. I mean, one of the few that I was really impressed with the fact that they are celebrating the 30th anniversary of the film Casper, featuring a whole bunch of Casper Pops, and I will say that there is a box set of the Ghostly Trio that I was very much obsessed with when the movie came out in Funko Pop form on the way. Seriously considering getting that box set. Another one that got me very excited was the fact that we are now officially getting a Ranma 1/2 set, and this is actually going to be the very first time in a long time since I actually started to crave a chase. I only have one chase in my entire Pop collection, and I'm hoping to have two, because of the fact that Ranma is going to be sold in male and female form. The female version is the chase, and if you are a Ranma 1/2 fan, you kind of can't have Ranma Saotome in just one form. You gotta have both. So I'm hoping to get both of them at some point in time. Other than that, there's really not much else to tell, except for the fact that now it is getting to be a point where it is really challenging to get Pops for a good price. And the part that's really weird is the fact that when all of these new announcements come out, Amazon.com doesn't seem to have the products available. So I don't know if it means that they're on delay. I don't know if it means that they're not going to be getting Funkos anymore. I don't know if it means that they're trying to figure out what they're going to charge them. All I know is that that's the reason why I came to you guys in the last video saying that I don't think that Funko is going to go on here on this channel because my collecting may, in fact, stop very, very soon. But I will definitely say that I'm looking forward to featuring my collection today because I was planning on something, and then something happened in the world of popular culture that made me say, okay, I need to switch things up a bit and do the right thing. So let's take a look at how my collection has been going. So originally I was planning on providing a completely different set of Pops in my collection to showcase today, but I am recording this video on the 12th of June 2025, and that is exactly one day after the world got the tragic news that we lost a true giant of the music world, a man who was legend, iconic, the founder and the real brainchild behind all of the music of one of the greatest, I will say that, greatest rock and roll bands of all time. And that, of course, is one of my personal favorite bands, and that is the Beach Boys. And of course, that is Brian Wilson. He passed away yesterday at the age of 82. He is now officially joined his brothers, Dennis and Carl. I hope that they are really having the greatest time with their reunion, as they should. So when I found out that Funko was going to be making Beach Boys Pops, I was personally very excited because we're living in a very strange world right now where music is still a very predominant thing, but when it comes to the younger generations who are all about Kendrick Lamar and Taylor Swift and Doja Cat, just to name a few, they don't think about bands like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or the Beach Boys or anything like that. So Funko doing what they're doing by giving us the Pop Rocks line with famed music stars, new and old, is a very important thing, much like me hunting down classic cartoon characters in regards to Funko Pops. So there were rumors that there was going to be something about the Beach Boys and something about Pet Sounds, which of course is their landmark album. A little bit of history about that album was that album was inspired by the Beatles' Rubber Soul, when Brian was home because he was having issues with air travel, and his band came back from Tokyo. He had heard Rubber Soul and said, we need to be better than this. We need to top this. And he did things that no musician of the time ever tried to do. He conceptualized music that no one had ever done before, and he made Pet Sounds, and when it turned out that in the States it was a big flop, there's rumors that Paul McCartney and George Harrison heard this concept album and said, we need to be better than this, and then came Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which is known as one of the most iconic Beatles albums of all time. But that just shows you the impact that Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys had on music. And the other thing that's so amazing about the Beach Boys is that they are a family. They were three brothers, Brian, Dennis, and Carl, their cousin Mike Love, and their neighbor Al Jardine. And like I said, I didn't know what they were going to be giving me. Was it going to be an album cover? Was it just going to be individual Beach Boys? No, it turns out that it was actually a 5-set of all of the Beach Boys from the Pet Sounds albums. They're dressed as if they were dressed on the album cover, and even the color scheme of the box is very much Pet Sounds. If you turn it around, you see the fence and the green field, because that's basically what the cover of Pet Sounds was, and it says it right here on the box, the Beach Boys Pet Sounds. And unlike most Funko boxes, this is very easy to open when it comes to a 5-piece set because it actually opens from the side, which I think is great. So this is an amazing 5-pack, but this is going to be one of the only times that I will probably take it out of the box. But yeah, let's take a look at these individual pops. Let's look at the late Brian Wilson first. I mean, this is exactly the way he looks in the album cover. I love the details on his coat. I love the indentations and the designs on his pants. Very 1960s. And the same thing with Dennis. I love the vest, and I love the cowboy boots. I gotta take a look at Mike here, because Mike has that iconic hat, and of course his red beard that he had at that point in time. Also, fantastic design on the zipper, and I just love the design on the pants. It's absolutely perfect. And I also love the hair, and I love the fact that when it comes to Dennis and Carl, they pretty much are almost the same, but you can tell by the hairstyle. Dennis's was a little bit more carefree and wavy, and Carl had more of the mop top look, like one of the Beatles. But again, fantastic. And of course, we got Al, the one guy who is not part of the Wilson family, but still someone who was very close to them. I just love the look of his overcoat and the detail in his hair. This is actually one of my favorite pieces now in my collection, like I said earlier, simply because of the fact that there are people in this world that have never listened to the Beach Boys, probably don't even know who the Beach Boys are. I loved the Beach Boys growing up. As a matter of fact, how did I get into the Beach Boys? I heard I Get Around on the Disney cult classic film Flight of the Navigator. If you are a fan of that movie, please put that in the comments below. That's where I first heard the Beach Boys. And I remember my dad listening to the radio, and all of a sudden I heard it. I said, "Dad, I like this song." And he told me it's from the Beach Boys. And then, of course, came my love for Surfer Girl, Wouldn't It Be Nice, God Only Knows, Sloop John B., Fun, 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 all those truly wonderful Beach Boys songs that were rock and roll staples. And I just want to say thank you to Funko for putting this amazing 5-pack together, because this is one I never thought would ever come, and finding out that it was actually going to finally happen, and that the Beach Boys were going to be immortalized in Funko Pop form, that just made me so happy, and I am proud to carry on the Beach Boys legacy in any way I can, whether it's these Funko Pop sets or my copy of one of my personal favorite rock biopics, Love and Mercy, featuring Paul Dano and John Cusack as Brian Wilson in 2 separate timelines, also with great performances from Paul Giamatti and Elizabeth Banks. I'm all Beach Boys today because this is important. So those are my thoughts on the Beach Boys. Rest in peace, Brian Wilson. Thank you, Funko, for making a Beach Boys Funko set. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave a message in the box below. Let me know what some of your good pickups were in May. What are you looking forward to in June? I know that we're going to be getting the San Diego Comic-Con reveals very soon. I'm hoping that you're excited about them. Is there anything that you're hoping to see? I'm curious to see if I'll actually want to hunt any of them down. But in the meantime, I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, feel free to leave a comment. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to be up to date with our latest videos. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.